And the way that I've seen it is almost like distancing ourselves from humanity so that we didn't have to take accountability. But we are here, we are incarnated, we are part of the human collective. Our soul origins are multidimensional. But in this now moment, we are in these human bodies. We are in these human bodies. It's physical proof that we are here. And it's time to really accept that. Greetings and welcome to Activations with JJ. I'm so thrilled to have you join me today for this podcast episode. Of course, it's still fairly new that I'm here in my cosmic sanctuary on video, and I so much appreciate all of the beautiful, kind words that you have been commenting on the YouTube just to cheer me on and congratulate me for this new format. It was a big leap. I've mentioned a couple of times, it's a little bit more work to do this than it is to record in my little recording studio at home in my pajamas. So I'm just really happy to be here with you. And it's been interesting to sense the difference between doing the video format and the audio format. I actually feel like I'm channeling a little bit differently. So you'll have to let me know if you pick up on that. I know some of you did in the previous podcast episodes that were video. But I'm here today at this particular moment in time, and whenever you watch it, it's applicable. I just set that intention, whether it's 2 days from the time I publish it or 2 years from the time I publish it. I always find that whatever we need in whatever moment it is exactly what we call in. And so you know how it is. Those YouTube videos pop in. Sometimes it's a post on Instagram that you didn't even look for, and it just lands in your lap. So if that's how you got here today, I'm very, very excited to have you with us. Welcome. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and slide into some of the themes for today. What I decided to do was essentially do an energy update of sorts. And I just feel like the energies are shifting so rapidly. It does actually fit to continually be bringing up those themes that are at the forefront for us. And so we're going to go through a few different themes. There are a couple really prominent ones right now. And of course, we're getting close to the March energy update, and I'm excited to share those with you as well. But today, I want to start off by talking about Venus, Venusian energy. And for those of you who are astrologers, you'll probably be commenting on the side, yes, JJ, we already knew all this. I am not an astrologer. I will just tell you most of my information comes from one of two ways. The one-on-one sessions that I do, and I've mentioned this before and I will mention it again, that one of the reasons I continue to do one-on-one sessions as much as I possibly can is because it's a way for me to receive feedback on what's energetically going on with the collective. And so as I'm having these sessions, I'll notice themes. So one day or over, maybe 2 days period, I'll have so much of the same theme popping in. And it's like, hello, are you paying attention? Talk about this on your YouTube channel. So here I am sharing with you the theme of Venusian energy. This is coming in many different ways. And I'm sharing it today along with a little activation. I feel like each of the themes will be somewhat activating for you and a little bit of light language. My hope is that you will go into the comment section and share what is also coming through your channel regarding Venus and regarding Venusian energy, Venusian guides. Maybe you have past lives connected to Venus. So let's start off by calibrating to the theme of Venus. I'd invite you to just take a nice deep breath. You can close your eyes. And it's not lost on me that here we are, February. Typically, some traditions will follow not St. Patrick's Day. That's next month. I'm living in the future. Valentine's Day, which has obviously some roots that we are not loving. So no pun intended with the loving. But I do know that Venus, of course, connected to the energy of love. So as you're tuning into Venusian energy, opening your heart space, opening your higher heart. And we're going to use this as a moment of grounding into the container that this podcast episode is. I do feel that each and every episode is a unique container that we are co-creating with everyone else who's listening. asynchronously, and we're not in the same room, but we kind of are. So you might even imagine that we're all sitting in a beautiful, cozy space together. And of course, the Hathors are very connected to Venusian energy. I'm already feeling them coming through. That's what you're hearing with the toning. So I would invite you to also tone a little bit. Sing if that's your vibe, but you might call it toning if you're scared of the word singing. Feeling that beautiful frequency. Also feeling Lady Venus, Sanat Kumara, as a divine partnership, masculine and feminine energy. And for me personally, one of the strongest energies that I connect to Venus is Quan Yin. And I would love to show you a couple of these images that I have channeled with the assistance of AI art so you can see the way that she's coming in for me right now. Interestingly enough, Quan Yin recently has come through in a couple of my offerings. And what I feel her bringing to the table is just that love and compassion and encouragement to have self-compassion. That is actually one of the themes. She's connected to one of the themes for the month of February. So with her energy and her frequency as well, I just encourage you to tune in for yourself. I feel Aphrodite, of course, also known as Venus, Greek goddess. And another symbol that has been very much in activation for people is that the shell that Aphrodite came forth out of, and the sea foam, that all that imagery is very symbolic of parts of our cosmic heritage. Let me just put it that way. And for those of you who are into astrology, I would love to have you drop into the comment section as well and share what just more puzzle pieces to all of this. Why is this Venusian energy coming in right now? I'm going to tune in as well. And I'm hearing Quan Yin say reflection, reflecting, self-compassion, self-love. I'm seeing Venus reflecting back to Gaia, to Earth, to the human collective. Love. So it's interesting because it's not as if Venus were the source of the love. It's almost like Venus is showing us the love that is already here. But I'm also going to tune in right now. So I'll just go ahead and connect with Quan Yin. I'm hearing her mention that the energy that Venus is holding is just reflecting back to us our own love and our own compassion, that it is there, that sometimes we can't see it. And so remembering that even though something feels like it's outside of us, it really is coming from inside of us. It's just reflecting. And of course, something else that I'm feeling with this Venusian energy is the Divine Mother, the divine feminine frequency, and just allowing ourselves to reconnect to that frequency. That's actually something that's really been on the forefront. And so I'll just kind of transition right into that right now. Some of you have heard me talk about, I sent out an email. If you're not on my email list, make sure you subscribe. That at the end of this month, I decided, it just was shown to me over and over again in these synchronicities that happened on literally the course of one day, to do a rose offering. And last summer, I offered the Way of the Rose. And this time it's called Rose Lineage Path of Remembrance. And this, of course, is holding the frequency of the Divine Mother. But I've really felt called with this offering to invite not only those connected to the sisterhood of the rose, which is something you've heard me talk about before, like the Lemurian sisterhood of the rose, but also the brotherhood of the rose and the Rosicrucian. So there's a lot of past life activations that are happening connected to those lifetimes spent in the frequency of the rose. And the wording that came through was keepers of the rose frequency. So it is 100% like some of these other 3-day events I've been doing. Like I did the Orion Lineage Reconciliation Project, the Lyran Lineage Reconciliation Project, which both are on demand now. You can participate in those. It's a self-paced course and they're very powerful. But what I'm doing with this rose lineage is exactly the same. It's an interesting format. It's a very interesting template. And what we do is we literally meet for an hour across 3 days. 3 days is it. And we go into the quantum field, and that's how we get so much done. But in this one, there will obviously be a lot of exchange of codes. We always find ourselves and there's a Telegram. I have a group that we create, and it only lasts actually 5 days, the day before, the 3 days during, and the day after. But it's packed full of incredibly powerful activations because we're exchanging. It's a code exchange. It's a memory exchange. It's a remembrance exchange. It's a place to be witnessed. All of that is part of any of these projects that we're undertaking. And essentially this Rose Lineage Remembrance is a project. It's got this beginning, it's got this end, and it's just to jumpstart us into more remembrance of our lifetimes as Rose frequency keepers, not only our lifetimes and our parallel lifetimes, but this incarnation, we are also most likely still carrying that. We are still, basically, that's part of our soul purpose. And so as we transition from the topic of Venusian, I just like to just switch straight into those frequencies of the rose to calibrate because it's going to come into your field in lots of ways, not just through me talking about it on this podcast. I guarantee you, as soon as I shared that story to my email subscribers, I got lots of responses back about how the rose had been coming forward for them as well. So let's tune in again like we did with the Venusian energy and see what messages would like to come through. I feel called to remind you, or to share with you, I should say, that the landing page, the website for this offering, is actually an activation in and of itself. This has happened to me before. I'm not just creating an offering that you can step into to activate you. I'm also creating literally just images on a website with words that will activate you. So whether or not you participate in it, I highly recommend that you hop on over through the link down below into the page. There are some images I've channeled. The information on there came through like this. I saw the colors red, white, and blue, which obviously at this point in time is coming to us like it would be more patriotic for me in the United States. Those are the colors of the flag. It's also the colors of many flags. Interestingly enough, I had a little aversion to it. Those aren't the same colored roses that came through in the Way of the Rose offering last year, but I saw it as red, blue, white. And what happened is I saw the red rose connected to the earthly lineage of the rose, the blue rose connected to the cosmic lineage of the rose, or galactic, you could say, and then the white rose connected to the divine mother, the divine essence of all, source. And so we move through those 3 pathways and we reconnect to source. So it's all about reconnecting to our soul origins, to our original divine blueprint through the frequency of the rose. Now, I'd like to again just tune in. And who's coming to the forefront is Mother Sirius. This is a sentience that encompasses the frequency of Sirius as a divine feminine energy, almost as if she were a star mother in that she birthed Sirius. She comes through as a blue frequency and with the frequency of the blue rose, more specifically. So allowing yourself also to tune in. I am seeing a rose pattern fractalizing and expanding, almost like a flower of life. sacred geometry. Ashiato kashandyato sukia par katiana isaya. Ooh, beautiful. Taking a deep breath and just placing your hand on your heart space, allowing yourself to integrate those codes. And I'm sure that there are some of you out there who received specific information as you heard that light language. Usually when I'm channeling, I'm not always hearing the interpretation. And if you did, I would love to have you share those in the comments, because we're all pooling our collective intuition and the channeled information that's coming through. And it would be beautiful to know what you felt or saw, or any words that came through with that. I will tune in right now and just see if there's any final message coming through about this rose keeper, a rose frequency keeper, I should say. It's coming through again. It's the men. It's calling the divine masculine into the order of the rose again. It's awakening them to their role in the order of the rose. And of course, this syncs up perfectly with one of the themes for the year, which has to do with divine partnerships and the divine family template. And we are still in the midst of really holding space as a collective for the divine masculine to fully embrace I would say like the aligned higher frequency version of the masculine, something a little different than what we've had on the planet. And I know it's very fascinating because I was shown the way that the Orion lineage reconciliation, the Lyran lineage reconciliation were precursors and preparatory to the rose lineage. And for that, I know that we healed so much of the divine masculine. And it was very fascinating. So again, if you are in a male body in this incarnation and are feeling something right now, when I say this, I would highly recommend that you check out the Orion and Lyran lineage reconciliation, because there are some templates that we brought to completion during that I think paved the way for a softening that you will now allow you, I guess I should say, that will now allow you to better connect to the rose frequencies, the order of the rose, and all of that remembrance. There's something coming through with that in addition to some of the cosmic and the details I shared. That is the Celtic rose, the orders of the Celtic rose. And I'm hoping that as I say this, some of this is activating. It's like a key to additional remembrance for you. That's why I share it most of the time, because we can't really do a deep dive in the short amount of time that I spend on the podcast. So that was our second topic. I have one more to share with you, and then we will be complete. Just a quick reminder, some of you might be wondering, I do have some events coming up. I have a spot, potentially only one left by the time this is published, in the Keys of Teotihuacan. So the Keys of Teotihuacan, which is my gridwork excursion in and around, I should say, Mexico City. I do have some workshop spots left if you are near Mexico City and would like to attend a Cosmic Remembrance workshop. And then I do have forthcoming, it will actually take place in June, it's not called Avalon this time, which I thought was interesting. It's Heart of Albion gridwork excursion in the UK. Now, there are more, and some of you saw my Instagram post or saw my email about these different travels that I'm having, and I'm putting all of the things together. Just make sure that you are either following me on Instagram or have subscribed to my emails, and you will be the first to know. Some of these are very small in-person events, and so they will sell out quickly. But if you are on the email list, you'll be the first to know. All right. So tuning into this third topic for today, it's connected to our starseed connection circle that takes place the fourth Sunday of every month. This is a free offering, a free gathering. It's a 75-minute in length virtual gathering. And the theme for this month was interesting because it ties into something that came forward a few weeks into the month. And each month I pick a specific theme to go with the weekly gatherings we do in our Starseed community. Now, again, this is part of our community, but it's open to the public, the Starseed Connection Circle. And the theme is collaboration and co-creation with compassion. What has popped in since the beginning of the month, this is how we're crossing timelines so rapidly. What has popped in is something new. I'm now going on Instagram live once a week. I did that a little while ago and I stopped for a while because things got crazy, but I'm back on Instagram live. Or if you're in my starseed community, I do it via Zoom for the community, and it's a longer length version, but I call it Tea Time with JJ at 8 a.m. Pacific every Thursday. So if you're interested, mark it on your calendar. You can join me on Instagram live for about 15 minutes. And then the full length version is part of the community offering, and it is Zoom, and the playback is in the playback section of the community. So another good reason to join our starseed community as a reminder. But this idea of compassion with regards to co-creation and collaboration has unfolded into something completely different that was linked to our Lightworker Expansion Lab offering. The Lightworker Expansion Lab offering had some interesting themes coming forward. Now, this was an offering that I created, and I will be providing it as a playback. I felt it was that valuable. There's a part of it that I'll be offering as a playback. So much powerful information has been coming through. And I've told you this before, and I will tell you again, when I have a group in front of me, I channel differently. That's why I think when I got on the Instagram live or on a Zoom, it's different. It's different. And so as I was working with this incredible, powerful group of 33 light workers, that's exactly the number that came into that group, I connected with the energy of Archangel Michael, the Adam and Eve template, and the Eden template. And I've shared that with all of you here. That has come forward again in a little bit different way. And it's connected to a theme I've talked about before, which is reconciling ourselves with humanity. Reconciling ourselves with humanity. Being okay to be human. And this is our task right now. This is our invitation. Until we fully anchor into our human template, it's going to be very difficult for us to move forward on this ascension journey. I've been told that in no uncertain terms, that our next task, the check the box, is to fully anchor into our human template. And I want to do all that I can to assist you with that. So what I have decided to do, and this all these downloads are coming to me at like 4 a.m. I have an incredible friend, Natalia, who runs an offering called Dragon Temple. It's a little community that she runs. And what I have felt is that the dragons are to assist us in fully anchoring into that human template. And not only that, but they are bridging the human template with our cosmic template, with our divine template. That is one of their most powerful and most effective roles that they can play for us, is to assist us in that way. So the 4th Sunday of this month, February 2025, we will be offering, myself and Natalia together will be co-hosting this, really reconciling and reharmonizing with the human template. And some of you know what I'm talking about. There has been bubbling up in the collective, in humanity, amongst starseeds especially, this resistance to fully admit that we're human. And the way that I've seen it is almost like distancing ourselves from humanity so that we didn't have to take accountability. But we are here, we are incarnated, we are part of the human collective. Our soul origins are multidimensional. But in this now moment, we are in these human bodies. We are in these human bodies. It's physical proof that we are here. And it's time to really accept that. And there are obviously parts of you that are totally fine with that. But you know, when you get those little feelings and those little pings, there are parts of us sometimes that aren't so happy about doing that. And so I just want to invite you, I just want to extend this invitation to do a couple of things. One, consider that concept of anchoring into your human template. And I know that playing with that idea can feel a little bit tricky or sticky because of some, we could say, distortions in the human template, in the human collective. Or maybe it just doesn't harmonize with the rest of your soul template. So what's happening is these new human templates are coming online. And I don't know if new is the right word, but it's the best word I can use right now. And so we are aligning ourselves with the purest form of the human template that will serve us in this next phase of ascension. And that template is going to feel much different than any other templates you've ever tried to anchor into, because I was actually shown that some of us have tried to anchor into the human template, but it was like oil and water. Do you know what I'm saying? It was like oil and water, and there was like repulsion. I don't want to be part of that. It didn't harmonize. That's why part of the offering is reharmonization and reconciliation of all the parts of us with that human template. So if anything I've said so far is like activating something inside you, activating remembrance or resonating, please share in the comments, because it's always nice to know you're not the only one. And when you go into the comment section, you can see other people are like, yes, that's me. Yes, yes, yes. And so that's why we're here. We're here to support each other, to witness each other. We are releasing all of those programs of isolation. I call them the lone wolf programming. Sometimes I call it the outcast programming as light workers that we feel. That there have been lifetimes where that has happened, but this is not the one. We are here to collaborate and co-create with compassion as we fully anchor into those new, I could say, new human templates. We'll line up as a collective, and we'll be able to move forward in this process a little bit more easily without the friction that has been going on. Everything that is happening right now is happening for a reason. It just takes a little perspective to understand it. And so I guess maybe that's my final invitation to you as I close out this podcast episode is, in your day-to-day life, I want you to think about the things that might not seem so magical. And I want you to try to see that there is magic in there deep inside. There's magic in there. There are messages in everything. Everywhere you go, every person you come in contact with is there for a reason. And you have designed this. You're a creator of this reality. And it's a beautiful thing to step into that awareness, because it makes life so much better. My friends, thank you so much for spending this little moment with me. As always, I am sending you so much love. And I'm reminding you that I am you and you are me and we are we. Until next time, bye-bye.